What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TV Toycast YouTube channel. And today we are unboxing from Kenner in the starting lineup collection. It is Nolan Ryan. Oh man, so cool to get this one. I never would have expected myself to dive into the world of starting lineup when I started this channel, but here we are. And King Griffey Jr. kind of started it all. So again, these are not the most expensive figures in the world, which definitely helps. And, eBay's kind of fun. So it's a double whammy. Of course, Nolan Ryan, the 1990 edition, as you can see right there, 1990 edition from the Texas Rangers. I wanted specifically him from the Texas Rangers because some of these guys that have multiple figures in this line, I'm like, I'm going to be kind of picky on the one I get because some of the poses are a little different here, and I kind of want everyone to kind of look somewhat similar. I will say, for a almost 40-year-old figure, this is held up very well. The packaging is great on this one. I have no complaints. Got to look at the figure there like he's in mid-pitch. I remember thinking these figures were spot on as a kid. I don't really feel that way now, but still really cool. As you can see here, kind of got broken up in the National League and the American League, all the different figures you can get and all the different ones. So right there you can see on the 1990 California Angels, Jim Abbott. I actually have that figure. That one I ordered. Specifically because it's so unique, because Jim Abbott only has one hand, and I always thought that was such a unique one. Bo Jackson I've got coming, but not from the Kansas City Royals, I don't think. I could be wrong here, but I'm kind of looking through some of the different names. There's a lot of different names on here. You can see they produced a ton of figures, and I think that's what's going to be so interesting about collecting some of these, because obviously I'm not going to be completist on this. I'm just gonna get the ones that are fun to me. And what's kind of cool about this is it has a cutout display stand for your starting lineups. How does that work? Cut out this stand and to display your starting lineup collector card and autograph. Oh, okay, so it's for the card. Yeah, that's kind of lame, but it is cool. I mean, lame but cool, I guess. I don't know. I think it's it's cardboard. Like, come on. Who was wanting to do that? Come on, people. I remember one time I was a kid. I was at Toys R Us. It was around Christmas time. And, of course, my parents are shopping for me, but I'm not aware of that. And they had a special promotion where you could get this box that kind of looked like a Happy Meal box. And if you spent so much money, whatever it was, spend $50, something like that, you get this little box of prizes. And it's like, not even dollar store toys, like the kind of toys you would get if you had like 10 tickets at like a restaurant arcade. Like that, like friendship bracelets and, like the vampire teeth. But like worse than that. But the box you could cut apart and made a sorry board with the pieces, and like the lady's like selling me on it, like, isn't that cool? And I'm like, no, that's not cool. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Of course, you get in trouble. I didn't say that to her, but you kind of get in trouble for not being grateful. But I'm like, well, that's super dumb. But it's like, I wanted action figures. I don't want a stupid sorry board made out of cardboard. Like, who thinks that's fun? But Nolan Ryan, definitely a cool figure here. We're going to open this up. Like I said, pretty well put together packaging. I have no complaints here for a figure this old, but it's got to be open for research purposes, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to be done. Uh-oh. Looks like he's kind of glued to the package. That's got to be bound to happen sometimes. We'll do our best here. Oh, no. Oh, man. Well, what are you going to do? Sometimes that happens. I think this card looks all right, though. These cards definitely more thin than your traditional baseball card would be. But again, it's a packed-in card. Can't complain too much. We'll insert out of there. And get that out of here. Get the card out of here. Take a look at Nolan Ryan. He's kind of in a weird pose here because he needs to be right here. Like he's in mid-pitch. Yeah, I don't know. This one's maybe not my favorite. He does balance well. I have no complaints about that, but it's like he just released. I think that's the way we're gonna go. Like because he doesn't have a baseball in his hand, like he just threw it. So if you have him right here, like the shoulder kind of sticks out. I don't know if I like that. It's got to be like right here, like he just let go. And it's funny. I'm kind of set him up right there. I guess that's the best way to pose him. I always remember seeing this picture. Like pictures like this of him where he's about to throw, and his arm's so far back there, it looks like it's like dislocating his shoulder. Crazy to think. Yeah, like I said, not the thickest trading cards. And I don't know, I always felt like trading cards were a lot thicker back then. These are paper thin. Now, it's possible that they were like this way back then as well, and I just don't remember. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing that. 6'2", 210, bats right, throws right. Drafted to the Mets 1965. Is that right? Jeez, that's a long time ago. Home Alvin, Texas. Born 1947. So yeah, looks like he played. This is his stats from 66 all the way to 89. Played a long time. A long time. But yeah, Nolan Ryan. I think I've always thought he was like probably one of the greatest pitchers of all time. To me, he was one of those guys where, like, even when he was older, like, you just knew, like, this dude is one of the best to ever do it. And I actually saw a TikTok video a while back where someone was really singing the praises of Nolan Ryan and how he doesn't totally get his just due in a lot of cases. But I mean, I've always thought he was an amazing pitcher. Again, you'll learn when I do the starting lineup that I'm not the biggest sports person in the world. But I could appreciate a good athlete in any case. I was so wrapped up into wrestling as a child that I knew who Nolan Ryan was, I knew who King Griffey Jr. was, and I love those guys. Don't get me wrong, but wrestling kind of took precedent over a lot of other things, and so baseball wasn't probably something I was going to be seeking out to watch, simply because all my attention and focus was always going to be on wrestling. But like I said, starting lineup I think is such an underrated line, and I remember I mentioned this last time on the last episode I did on King Griffey Jr. But Home Alone, like those are the figures that they use when he shoots the BB gun to close the the laundry chute door, I think, yeah, and it's still crazy to me that he got that to prop open with a kitchen spatula. Then he shoots the starting lineups figures and stuff, so definitely crazy to think, but. These were, again, ahead of their time. Very, very unique poses. The likeness wasn't dead on, but I feel like it does have good details. Like, it has his number, the name of the team, the hat. And then on the back, they could have easily left that blank. I'll get it focused there on the camera, but they put his number and his name on there. And like I said, the pose, very, very cool. I love the fact that the stand's kind of built into that. This may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think what's cool about this is these are going to display so well because they all will stand up well, because of the stands and stuff. So, very, very cool. So, let me know in the comments down below, are you a starting lineup fan? Were you disappointed with Hasbro's attempt to relaunch starting lineup? What was that, 2 years ago? In fact, a lot of those figures you can still find at Ollie's for about $15 probably. I remember when they announced the price point, I knew that line was dead in the water. I'm not a big basketball guy. And I'm not a big fan of current day athletes, really, but I knew at $50 a pop, I was like, oh, there's no way. It's just too much. And I still think this style would have probably done better, even if they were like, $20 a piece or something, or 15, something that was more kind of congruent to the current industry standard. But then again, would I want a LeBron James like that, or would I prefer, Michael Jordan or Dennis Rodman or, Scottie Pippen, Karl Malone, those guys, John Stockton. The guys I remember, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. All those you can get in starting lineup for him. So, do you need LeBron James? Do you need Steph Curry? I don't know. It's hard to say, and I guess that's where those didn't do well for a lot of people. I'm sure LeBron did well, but I could see some of the other underneath guys not doing great. I'm kind of curious if baseball or football would have done better. Who's to say? And at some point maybe Hasbro will bring it back and do something else. I guess time will tell on that, but timing is everything with a toy line. We've seen stuff come back and not be successful, and then other versions are crazy successful. The Ninja Turtles comes to mind. They do like old school Turtles with NECA and Super 7, and they do great business, and they bring back new stuff, and it doesn't really do that well from what I can tell. So it makes you kind of wonder, like, is it the new stuff or is it that classic vintage stuff that people are into? I kind of wonder. I think if they brought back this version of starting lineups with current day athletes at a price point that makes sense, it's not super insulting, I could see it doing well. Maybe not, I don't know, but I think it would be kind of fun. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Do you think this would be fun for a revival from Hasbro, this style? the 6-inch or 7-inch scale didn't work, so maybe this would. Who's to say? But drop in the comments down below one way or another. Tell me what you think. And, of course, if you guys enjoy this channel, check out my other unboxing videos. I'm doing 3 every single week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In fact, just this week, I unboxed from the Simpsons line Mo Sislak, which was a lot of fun. And then, of course, last week I had from the Big Rubber Guys line Macho Man Randy Savage. From Operation Monster Force, we unboxed the Delta Red Urban Operations Trooper. And from Rush Collectibles, the Retro Monster Masters Frankenstein. All those available in the archives. New episodes of What's on the Pegs dropping every Saturday. And, of course, Tales of the Toy Box dropping a new episode every single month. Coming up will be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Series 1 from Playmates. Really, really looking forward to that. And then, of course, check out the TB Toycast podcast. That's kind of where this all started. Me and Travis are dropping a new episode every Thursday. We have a different main event talking a very specific toy line, something that means a lot to us. We've covered starting lineups in the past. We've covered WWF Hasbro in the past and a bunch of other toy lines. We do a series at a time if you've never listened. Plus, we talk all the current news and happenings in the toy world. Things that have us excited, things we're into, and everything in between. So check that out wherever you get your podcast, the TB Toycast, every single Thursday. And that is about it. That is all I got. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That's Nolan Ryan throwing a fastball from the Texas Rangers. Very, very cool. Anyway, thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. Again, that's Nolan Ryan, and we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.